was blind, but now I see. I see.
I was watching one of our campers shimmy up a tree at our campsite at Voyageurs National Park this July. He was trying to get high enough to tie the rope around a tree. The rope was connected to a huge tarp. The problem was we needed to hang the tarp because of the impending rain, and, of course, there are no ladders at a primitive campsite. We were preparing the supper meal, which was to be followed by our annual variety show put on by campers. You just can't pack 25 people into a 4-person tent and have an enjoyable evening. Have you ever been up a tree? By that I mean what one explanation of the idiom means: to be confused without an answer to a problem, or to be in difficulty. Zacchaeus was a short man, and he was up a tree before he even climbed one. Zacchaeus was a rich tax collector who wanted to see Jesus. He heard that Jesus was in the crowd, and he wanted to see him, but the problem was that he was too short to see over the crowd. His solution to the problem was to climb a sycamore tree in order to see Jesus. Now, here's the really cool thing. I think Jesus knew before he even reached the sycamore tree that Zacchaeus was up in it. Jesus wanted Zacchaeus to be able to reach him as much or more than Zacchaeus wanted to see and reach Jesus. Jesus simply told the short guy to come down because he, Jesus, was going to eat with him at his house. People grumbled about Zacchaeus. He was a cheat, a thief with the tax money. They couldn't imagine anyone wanting to hang out with such a disrespected sinner. They were unhappy with Zacchaeus, but they were perhaps more unhappy at that moment with Jesus. Here's what they didn't know. Climbing up higher to see Jesus can be the solution to our confusion and difficulty. I believe that Zacchaeus knew he was up a figurative tree in his community. It's not fun being a rich, conniving outcast. And here is further unbelievable truth. After Zacchaeus' encounter with Jesus, Zacchaeus stood up and solemnly declared to the Lord, says Luke 19 in verse 8, "See, Lord, the half of my goods I now give, by way of restoration, to the poor. And if I have cheated anyone out of anything," and I think Zacchaeus knew the answer to that before he stated it, "I now restore 4 times as much." God changes our hearts when we climb higher to see Him. Do you have any problems? Do you have any difficulties that seem unsolvable? Maybe you need to climb higher to see Jesus.